What's up, guys? This is DJ Matt. Welcome to another episode of Sports Chat with DJ Matt. As always, DJ Echo is here.
What up? Just one this time.
Yeah, I was waiting for the other two.
Nope, just one.
Just
Gotta
one.
mix it. Gotta mix it up.
Okay. So let's get right into it. So the Saints, weird game. Uh,
Disgusting.
okay. I knew whenever the Eagles made the quarterback switch, I knew we were going to be in trouble. And after the first Eagles drive, because the Saints going 3-and-out in the first drive is really nothing new. They usually do that anyway. But
Yeah,
when
we're good
I
at that.
realized that the defense was going to struggle against Jalen Hurts and that they couldn't really stop him, it seemed like they just – I don't know. It just – after that first drive, I was like, yeah, I don't like the way this game's going to go. We're going to lose. I just knew from the beginning it wasn't going to be a good game. It was a trap game all the way.
Yeah, I will say though, I mean, if the fact that we lost this game, it's really not that terrible because we did have some padding division wise, which is good. I mean, we're already in the playoffs. The concern now is winning the division and also what seed we're going to be.
Yeah.
So we lost the number one seed, so we need Green Bay to lose the game. But we're playing the Chiefs, so that's probably going to be another game that we lose, unfortunately.
Yeah. I already knew that the Packers were going to overtake us in the number one seed just because we're playing the Chiefs and we lost to the Packers earlier. So this was a game really though, like we lost. I mean, it's not that big of a deal. I think we're gonna still win the division. I don't think Tampa Bay's got enough to overtake us. We just have to win one more game. And I mean, we still got Minnesota, and I believe we have is it Carolina we have to play one more time the last
I
week?
think so, something like that.
We're gonna
Something like that, yeah.
we're gonna definitely I think beat Carolina. So I mean I see us, and plus we have the tiebreaker over Tampa Bay anyway. So if it ends up being a tie in record, we're still gonna. So we're gonna win the division. I'm not worried about that. The one seed. So, I mean, would be nice, but I mean, I kind of figured after we lost to Green Bay, I'm like, we're probably not getting that either. So at this point, I just don't want to face the Rams, and I don't want to face the Vikings in the playoffs. Those are the only two teams I don't want to face. Everyone else, I'll be okay facing, honestly. um,
Yeah, I don't know. I watched some of the game, but it was it was nasty. It was nasty. There's a couple things that I learned. No matter what, Jameis will not get put in the game. Um,
no,
and Taysom needs to learn some ball security is another thing that I've learned.
that's his biggest issue.
Because it whenever you look at these guys who like to run, the number one thing about that is you have to keep the ball safe because if you're going to run like that, you have to keep the ball safe. Same thing with running back, same thing with the wide receivers who, do running plays. You have to keep the ball safe. And Taysom, he loses a lot of fumbles. Like he fumbles a lot, he'll recover them, or an offensive lineman will recover them, but he also loses a lot of fumbles. And if he's going to be playing next week, that's something that needs to be focused on. Is okay, Taysom. Whenever we do running plays, keep that ball safe. If the difference between you getting an extra few yards or you keeping that ball safe, I want you to keep that ball safe. So
Well, did you see that onside kick? I think it was the onside kick where like we could have recovered it, but like we didn't. That was like the end of the game. Like we had just
yeah,
scored. We had come back in the game, which I got to give Taysom credit for that. We kind of second half was way better than the first half, but we didn't cover that onside kick. I was like, man, if we could have done that, we could have maybe squeaked out that win, which would have been
yeah,
nice. But Taysom has yet to have a turnover-free game as quarterback, I believe. So that's something that, to me, that's the thing he really needs to work on. And they're talking about if Drew's going to come back this week. I'm like, honestly, we're going to lose this game. I wouldn't mind just sitting Drew out for another week because we're going to lose no matter who's quarterback. And I think it'd be nice to have Taysom play a game after a loss. I think that would be see how he responds to a loss. You know what I mean? I think that'd be something be interesting to look at. So I wouldn't mind playing Taysom one more week. Let's save Drew. Let's make sure he's okay and healthy. That because we still need him for the playoffs. So I'd be okay with just playing Taysom one more week because what we got to lose. We're gonna lose anyway. I'd be surprised if we won against the Chiefs.
yeah. I would be as well, even with Drew at the helm. But on the other side of the ball, I know it's only been one game, but has Wentz lost his job?
I don't know. The thing is that I think Wentz is still a really good quarterback. And everyone's pointing out to the fact that Frank Reich is no longer there because he's in Indy, and everyone's making the connection. Oh, they're going to trade him to Indy, which makes sense. But I don't think Indy's going to do it because I think Phillip Rivers is having a really good year, and I think everyone in that organization believes Phillip has a lot left to play in his
Mm,
career. So they're gonna sign him to probably another 1-year deal in Indy to stay in Indy. And I mean, they could still trade for Wentz, but Wentz would be a backup. And I don't think with that contract, you don't want him to be
no,
a backup. So
no.
I think Indy, it's a good idea, and I think it would work out actually for both sides. I think Indy Carson Wentz with Frank Reich again, and with that O line, and I think it would be a good pairing. But I think they're going to be committed to Phillip. Honestly, I think Phillip is going to get a 1-year deal after the season because they're going to make the playoffs this year. I'm pretty sure the Colts are. That's why I'm wearing the Colts
Yeah.
hat. I'm Brady.
Now this is what I will say regarding the Eagles. I know it's only been one game, but some people were saying about Carson Wentz is that the personnel around him wasn't as good. The Eagles just went out there and beat a Saints team who was on a 9-game winning streak, led by Jalen Hurts. So I don't. And now I do agree we have to have a couple more games because this just could be a result of the team being fired up that there's a new quarterback in. But I will say that if the Eagles go on a little bit of a winning streak here, I don't think that they'll make the playoffs necessarily. But I think if they can win a couple games, I think the argument can be made. Okay, what do you make? Do you start starting Jalen Hurts or do you roll with Wentz after this?
Well,
But I still think we need a couple weeks.
I like the question is like, is it bad Saints or good Eagles? To me, that was a bad Saints. The defense. What I learned about our defense in that game was that all season we haven't really played against a mobile quarterback, right? We've played mostly against stay in the pocket quarterback like Matt Ryan, Tom Brady, Matthew Stafford to a degree. Aaron Rodgers moves around, but he's not like a scrambler. He's not like a mobile quarterback.
Yeah,
So
he just gets outside the pocket to make a throw.
Derek Carr, like what mobile quarterback have we played against this year? I can't really think of one. I don't remember us playing against a mobile quarterback. So all year the Saints haven't had the threat of a quarterback really running the way like Jalen Hurts does. So I think that caught the defense by surprise. So I think what I learned is that our defense is not used to playing against mobile quarterbacks, which is not good, all things considered. Especially if you have to play a Russell Wilson or somebody like that. Like we're gonna have a hard time beating teams with mobile quarterbacks. So I look at that more so than Jalen Hurts being good, although he played a great game. It's just I think the defense just wasn't prepared for Jalen Hurts, much like the Falcons against Taysom Hill, right? I mean,
Right.
like no one knew what Taysom was really gonna do, so we kind of had the advantage. The Eagles kind of had the advantage in that game of knowing what Jalen Hurts can do. We didn't have any tape on him, it it was a trap game all the way. But I think you got to start Hurts the rest of the year though to see what he's got.
Yeah.
Yeah. So let's talk about the game last night because I wasn't gonna talk about it because I didn't think it was gonna be that good of a game, but it was a great game. It was the best.
Oh Lord.
Um, I'll say this. So the Ravens win 47-42, last second field goal, and they got a safety on those lateral plays, whatever. Those
Yeah.
desperate plays, they got a safety, so the safety really doesn't matter. But I feel better about the Browns than I do about the Ravens, though. I really do.
Um. Yeah. I think though the Ravens. I think that I do agree. I feel better about the Browns as of right now than I do the Ravens. But I will say that the Ravens are making strides to look more in form like they did last season. Kind of like in the middle of the season where they were just really running over opponents. They're starting to look like that team again, which is good because we're in week 15 now. They're catching strides at the right time, which is good for the Ravens. I will say though, yeah, I do trust the Browns right now as a team. Solely just looking at right now and looking at what's happened already, I do trust the Browns. But what about Lamar pulling a Paul Pierce there in the middle of the
And if you
game?
listen to Lamar, he didn't pull a Paul Pierce. Um, I think he was cramping up. They said like there was jokes about him going to the bathroom, and the memes from him was pretty funny. Um,
Yeah,
it was the meme of like whenever a DK Metcalf was running after a Buda
yeah.
Baker interception, it was like Buda Baker was like I forgot what was the caption. I guess it was like the Browns win or something, whatever it was, and then like DK Metcalf was like Lamar after he poops or something. And
Yeah,
yeah, something like that. It was kind of funny.
that was
Um,
wild though. Goes in the locker room, comes back, first play, throws a 40-yard touchdown. Like that's crazy.
well, in that game they put Trace McSorley in because RG3 is still out. So they had Trace McSorley in, and he got injured because the field was kind of slippery last night. So he hurt his knee. I think they reported he's got a knee sprain or some kind of ankle sprain or something. He's got. So he was hurt. If he didn't get hurt, I wonder if Lamar would not have come back in the game. It's interesting because I don't know who else they had on that roster to be quarterback. So they probably need. So Lamar kind of just had to suck it up and play, I guess. But I don't know.
It's like, well, you've got cramps. He hurt his knee. All right, you get in there.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. But I mean, I mean, I've been saying this. I've never jumped off the Browns bandwagon, even though it seemed like the Browns would not get it together. I mean, I like to champion that I was right to root for the Browns still. Baker Mayfield is playing amazing. So, I feel like being on the bandwagon has been gratified for me, like more people should get on the bandwagon. And I got to say this, Kevin Stefanski, what a great hire. I think they finally have stability at that coaching position, which could help Baker. The problem, everyone was getting on Baker, where I was saying that he hasn't had a real head coach in his years in the NFL. His 2 years in the NFL. He finally has one. And look, they're winning. So I think, give credit to Kevin Stefanski too. I think he's done a great job. And I think he should be in the mention for Coach of the Year. I think he should at least be mentioned in the conversation. Because, I mean, the Browns have been this good in over a decade. So,
yeah.
So let's talk about the hottest debate in football right now, though, the MVP race. Is it going to be Rodgers or Mahomes?
I don't know. And see, this is the thing. People are talking about Mahomes last Sunday having a bad game against the Dolphins. First off, let's take 2 things into account. One, he was playing one of the best defenses in the NFL right now in the Miami Dolphins. 2, Rodgers also had a really bad game against, I think it was the Buccaneers a while ago. So
week 3, week 4, whatever it was.
Yeah, but still, he had a really bad game. So to say, oh, well, this is going to be the deciding factor, they've both had really bad games, and they've both bounced back from it really good. I mean, it's hard to say, but knowing the NFL, Patrick Mahomes is going to get an MVP because they're just going to try and give him as many MVPs as possible. But I don't know. Right now,
I'd give it to Rodgers. I'm leaning toward Rodgers, honestly.
I think I'm also leaning towards Rodgers as well. Because, and I like to make this argument every single time, you put any quarterback in that Chiefs system, they're going to thrive.
Yeah.
Because you got to look at the weapons that they have. And I'm not saying that Patrick Mahomes is good because of the weapons around him. He's a good quarterback. Don't get me wrong. But whenever you have a guy like Tyreek Hill, Travis Kelce, you got Clyde, you got people like that surrounding you. And then whenever you look at Aaron Rodgers, you have Devontae Adams and Aaron Jones. And Aaron Jones was out for a couple games. Devontae Adams was out for a couple games. And they still won. Yeah. And it's because Rodgers were making these guys look like top-tier NFL wide receivers. So at the end of the day, I think most MVPs should go to the most valuable person in the NFL.
And that's Aaron Rodgers, yeah.
And usually it's a quarterback, and right now that's Aaron Rodgers.
Yeah, because, I mean, Aaron Rodgers is doing more with less, and Mahomes is doing more with more. Like, you know what I mean? Like Alex Smith, when he was with the Chiefs, they were a really good team. Like, the Chiefs in the last decade, it seems like has never been a bad team. They've always been like a really respectable team. And Alex Smith was there with Tyreek Hill, I believe, and I think Kelce was there too.
But the thing with the Chiefs is they're not good just because of one guy. The Packers you could arguably say are good because of maybe 2 guys, but Chiefs are good because of a lot of guys.
Yeah, I'd give it to Rodgers right now. I just And like I said, like we've been saying, there's something off about Kansas City, and I think the Dolphins game proved this. Like they're a team that like they have more off days, I feel like, than on days, because like they come out really slow sometimes, and then they pick it up when they have to. It's like I don't know what it is. It's like everyone's high on Kansas City, and I am too. It's just
I don't know. I guess after last playoffs, they just like playing from behind.
It's weird, man. It's a dangerous game. It's a dangerous game. So I'd give it to Rodgers. So let's get to game picks. So we tied last week, but because the Buccaneers beat the Vikings by more points than you picked the Broncos over you picked the Broncos over the Panthers, and the Broncos won by less than the Buccaneers did. So I won. So it's 7-6 now. It's tightening up.
Dude,
it's tightening up.
Comeback time.
Yep. So let me get the schedule out. So we have a Thursday night game, as we always do. Normal schedule again. No crazy Tuesday games or anything crazy. Although we have some Saturday games. But either way, Thursday night, Chargers at the Raiders. This one was a tough one. Who you got in that one?
These are two teams that I really don't trust right now. Period. But I think I trust Los Angeles a little bit less than I trust Las Vegas. Um, I think I'll go with the Raiders.
Okay, yeah, I got the Raiders too. I was going back and forth. I really was thinking about picking LA. You know,
Yeah, I mean it's close, but it's really two teams that I just don't trust. So I mean, I'm picking the Raiders, but I don't know if I trust the Raiders to win this game. But
yeah, this week I'm looking at this week. It's a pretty no-brainer week actually in terms of picks. In my
yeah, a
opinion.
lot of these picks I'm looking at, and there's only a couple of them that we might differ on. So
I don't know if we're gonna differ. I feel like we'll be on the same page on most of these.
shoot, I'm not being the one that's different. Is this close? No, sir.
I don't know. It's gonna be weird. All right, so the next game, Saturday. Like I said, we have two Saturday games. Bills at the Broncos. Who you got?
I've got the Bills. Buffalo, they on a roll. Buffalo's looking like a really good team right now. I just I'm
Yeah.
not gonna say they're the most complete team right now, but they're looking pretty good.
I mean, I guess I'm still high on the Steelers, but right now though, the Bills to me are the second best team in the AFC.
Yeah.
It's just the way it is. You know.
You
Next
know
game.
what though? I think it's good for the Steelers to have lost these 2 weeks so they can start getting their act together because up until now they hadn't really played too much tough top competition. So just
Yeah.
give them some motivation to really get into high gear.
So next game we got the Panthers at the Packers. Who you got?
Another easy one. Just pick the Packers here.
Yeah.
Um, Simple.
So the next game we got the Buccaneers at the Falcons. Now I got the Buccaneers, but I mean the Falcons. I mean they, say what you want. They play all the NFC South teams pretty hard, so it
Yeah.
could be the Falcons could maybe pull the upset, but I'm not betting on it, but it's possible. But I'm
You know,
still
I think that they could pull the upset as well, but I'm with you on picking the Buccaneers. I think that they'll manage to pull it out, because
yeah. Um,
um,
so the next game we got 49ers at the Cowboys. Yeah, I got the 49ers.
uh,
I don't trust the Cowboys at all, so there's that. They did win last week, the Cowboys, so there is that. But
I'll pick the 49ers. This is
okay, so the next game we have the Lions at the Titans. Derrick Henry ran over for 200 yards and I think he had 2 touchdowns last week. He's going to do the same this week. I got the Titans.
I've also got the Titans, so that means the next week he's going to run for like 5 yards.
Yeah, potentially. Next game, Texans at the Colts. Who you got?
I've got the Colts, big
Yeah.
boy Colts. Who's leading that division right now? Indianapolis or Tennessee?
They're both have the same record. Tennessee right now has the division. They split their two games, so I think Tennessee has one more AFC win than the Colts do. I think at this point, so I think that's why
Mm,
they have the tiebreaker over them. But I'm hoping that Tennessee lays an egg pretty soon. But I don't know. I'm just happy. I'm just happy if the Colts make the playoffs. I don't care if they win it. As long as they make the playoffs, I'm happy. That's
yeah.
what I'm. Next game, we have the Patriots at the Dolphins.
Wow. You know, I mean, I'm sure we're both. I mean, I know I'm picking the Dolphins, but can you imagine this time last year saying I'm picking the Dolphins over the Patriots?
2020.
Yeah, that's just not something that is common.
Tua's looking really good. So that's good. Next game we got the Bears at the Vikings. This one is a tricky one too. Bears at Vikings. This could go either way.
It is a tricky one, but I think Vikings are going to win this one. Um,
I got the Bears.
oh, all right. Finally, we differ on a pick.
Yeah, might
It
be one.
only took it only took like one of the last games at the 12 o'clock, but we got it.
I mean, it's all about slowing down Dalvin Cook, I think. And I think the Bears defense with Khalil Mack, I think they could do it. Now the question is, will they? They can.
Yeah, I've said this before about the defense slowing down Dalvin Cook, and I guess I think I remember myself being wrong that week. So
Um, I will say this though, Mitch Trubisky had a good game last week. I'm not saying that he's now earning his place in Chicago. He's gone. They're gonna get a new quarterback, but Trubisky didn't. That's the thing. It's like he has the potential. It's just him doing it, I guess.
yeah, Trubisky right now is just trying to earn a contract elsewhere.
He's gonna be a backup somewhere. I can.
Well, yeah, but I mean, he's trying to earn that, so people look at him and say, "Hey, we'll get you as a backup."
Yeah. The next game we got is Seattle at the football team. Now the Giants did beat Seattle, so the football team right now is about the same as the Giants, I would say. They're trending in the right direction. It could be another upset maybe, but I got the Seahawks. But I mean, I would not be surprised actually if the football team were to pull this one out.
I would not be surprised, and honestly, the fact that football team caught Pittsburgh and Seattle's kind of coming off of a little bit of
What do you
like a
think?
downward spiral. They lost to the Jets. They just creamed they just creamed the Jets, and they lost to the Giants.
Yeah.
So all the games they're coming off of is close, besides the Jets game, because Jets games don't count. I'm gonna go out on a limb here,
Okay.
and I'm gonna take a crazy pick, and I'm gonna pick the football team.
Okay. Now I don't know if Alex Smith is playing or not, but I don't think it matters. I think that defense, Chase Young, I think he's gonna
That
be the.
defense is the reason. Yeah, that defense is the reason why they're in games, and that defense plays hard.
And I said this too, but earlier in the season, I said if the football team were to make the playoffs, I think Ron Rivera should also be in the Coach of the Year conversations. Honestly, even though it's the NFC East and we kind of disrespect them, it's just. But you look at what I look at the story, like what Washington went through in the offseason. I think it's a good story. I think Ron Rivera is doing this. Might be his best coaching job actually.
Yeah.
Like this team is a team I think is going to be good in the future. I really do. So
Also, if anybody wins Comeback Player of the Year that's not named Alex Smith, I don't want it.
yeah, real talk. That should be a unanimous vote there.
Yeah.
The next game we got Jacksonville, Baltimore. So okay, Jacksonville's pissing me off because so you have Gardner Minshew and you bench him, and then you put in Mike Glennon, and Mike Glennon sucks and he's old, and then you put back in Gardner Minshew. What does Gardner Minshew do? He does better than Mike Glennon does, and there, I think if I understand Jacksonville's probably going to draft Justin Fields or somebody in the draft. I would be okay if they kept Gardner Minshew and played Gardner Minshew. Like this dude, I think Gardner Minshew is actually better than what they think he is. Like I think give him a chance. I feel like he hasn't had a fair shake in Jacksonville. I want to see Gardner Minshew there. I like him. He's good.
Yeah, I agree. I agree that they should play Gardner Minshew. I mean, even though they're probably going to lose to Baltimore this weekend, that's my pick. Yeah. I mean, I don't think that Jacksonville should take a quarterback. I think that they should go for a skill position. They've got James Robinson. I think they need if they can get some, or if not, put some on that defense.
They can get Jamar Chase. They're gonna have the second pick. You can get Jamar Chase. Wide
Yeah.
receiver. You got DJ
because we already know who's going number one. So
and you got James Robinson, who's been he's an undrafted rookie, and he's the fastest undrafted rookie to 1,000 yards. So you have him. You have DJ Chark already, and you have Chenault, I think is his name. He's pretty good. You add Jamar Chase. You look at your offense. You go, hey, we might be formidable.
And then after that, start focusing on that defense, and then who knows? Maybe you can win some games.
That O-line fixed up too, I think. I mean, I understand everyone wants Justin Fields for that second pick, and that everyone's going to be saying Jacksonville's going to do it, and they probably will. But
they shouldn't.
If I was the GM, I'd give Gardner at least another year. I mean, you're not going to win nothing anyway the next couple of years, because the Titans and the Colts are going to be two teams. Texans, I don't know what the Texans are going to do, but Colts, I mean, that's the two tough teams that you always had problems with. So, yeah. So the next game, we got Rams at Jets. That's
okay. Yeah. All right. What's the next one?
Yeah, we both got.
Let's just put down the Rams. Move on.
Okay, this was intriguing. Eagles at the Cardinals. Jalen Hurts versus Kyler Murray. I think that's gonna be a really good game, sneaky game.
Well, my strategy worked last week, so I'm going to employ it again. Wait, hold on. This is important that I don't lose this week. Also, I'm not up like 5 games where I can just start picking the Jets like a moron. The first time that I picked the Jets, I believed in the Jets. The second time that I picked
I
the
was with
Jets,
you
I
the
was
first
believing for
time. The
the
second
meme.
time I wasn't, but the first time I was. I was
The
like,
second time I did it for the meme. I'm going to pick Arizona because I think now Arizona has a little bit of tape on Jalen Hurts. They know what to expect from Jalen Hurts, and I think that Arizona is going to be able to put it away. Arizona bounced back against the Giants. They look pretty good. I think that they'll do the same against Philadelphia.
well, unlike the Saints, the Cardinals play in a division with Russell Wilson twice a year. So I think the Cardinals defense will be used to playing against a mobile quarterback. So I expect Jalen Hurts to struggle a little bit in this game, actually. I expect the Cardinals defense to play better than
Yeah,
at least,
and even so, you don't have to worry about that defense playing against a mobile quarterback because I mean they do it all the time in training camp against Kyler Murray. So I mean, they're used to. They
So
should be used to.
they're very equipped to play this game than the Saints were, I think. And after obviously now having tape on Jalen Hurts, and knowing what they're trying to do with him, I think
It
Cardinals
does
have a
help.
shot. So the next game is a game that breaks my heart. Chiefs and Saints. I got to go against my Saints here, picking the Chiefs. It's just not
Yeah, I'm picking the Chiefs as well. I would love to see the Saints win this game, but
great.
I think it's possible if the defense can play good and if the offense can play good. But I mean, hey, if the Jets defense could play good and the Jets offense could play good, they could probably beat teams. But
You don't. Yeah.
seeing that the Miami Dolphins, I don't know if I think we're a better team than Miami Dolphins, but the fact that the Miami Dolphins give the Kansas City Chiefs a really good game, I
Well,
think is
here's the
telling.
thing. The Dolphins have a better. I would say the Dolphins have a better secondary than the Saints do.
Yeah.
Now, I don't know if the stats back that up or not. I just from the eye test, the Dolphins secondary is I think the highest paid secondary in the league, and they
Yeah, I think you look at Xavier Howard and Marshall Lattimore, they're kind of like the number one guy in the secondary. But whenever you go down, I think that there's a bigger drop off from Marshall Lattimore to our next guy versus Howard to their next guy. So, yeah, I would say that the Dolphins have a better secondary.
and the problem is with Mahomes that he could throw 3 interceptions and still beat you by double digits. So it's
Yeah.
like even if we get up by 20 points, I'm like, nah, I don't like
I'm
it.
like, yeah. No lead is safe until I see 0-0 final at the end of the game.
Yeah, yeah. So
But still picking the Chiefs.
it's gonna be an interesting game, and like I said, we don't know who's really quarterbacking this week. If it's gonna be Breeze or Taysom. I say Taysom. Let Taysom go one more week to save Breeze because I think Breeze is gonna get hit. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean that you're gonna get hit if you play football.
Yeah, but I mean, I don't know. Yeah, so we're
Yeah,
picking you. Sad as much as we hate to do it, but we got to be honest here. And
yeah.
it's
We
like it's
can't
like
we can't be we can't be delusional Saints fans all the time.
it's like when I picked the Packers earlier too to beat the Saints. I picked the Packers to beat the Saints, and what happened? So I kind of know when the Saints are gonna lose. And last week I was feeling it too a little bit, but I still picked the Saints because I thought the defense would maybe still play good, but yeah, So anyway, so we got Sunday night game, Browns at the Giants. Ooh, who you got in that one?
Now, a few weeks ago, this would be like, oh, why is this a Sunday night game? But now this is an intriguing Sunday night game. I have the Browns, but I do want to say that
I like New York, man.
New York has been looking good, and I will say this: if Washington can manage to pull off this upset against Seattle, and New York loses against Cleveland, that's going to kind of, Washington is kind of pulling away in this race here.
Yeah.
You know, they're first right now. If they can win this one, they'll go 2 games up on New York. Plus, well, they've lost to the Giants. Okay, they lost both games to the Giants. So as long as they just don't tie with them, they'll be good.
Yeah. So the final game, Monday night game, Steelers at Bengals.
Okay, Steelers, move on.
Yeah, Steelers gonna get back on
I'm
track.
sorry. I'm sorry. Steelers, just move on.
So those are our game picks. Games of the week. Obviously, Chiefs Saints are a big one. Um, I would say probably Seattle Washington would be enough for the 12 o'clock slot. I would say it'd probably be a game of the week there.
Yeah, I would say that that'd be an interesting one. Of course, Tampa Bay and Atlanta. Atlanta's going to play hard because they always do for NFC. And then a sneaky good one could be Philadelphia and Arizona, but obviously that's happening at the same time as Chiefs Saints. So
Yeah. Yeah, but
on the Saturday games, I mean,
they're
they're
kind
all
of,
right.
I mean,
They're okay, but
yeah.
and then Thursday night game,
All right, so we do have our NBA predictions for the season, but before we get to that, the Pelicans debuted last night preseason, in Miami against Miami, the reigning Eastern Conference champions, and they put on a show. They beat the Heat 114-92.
Woo!
Now, the Heat did not have Jimmy Butler playing, Goran Dragic playing, or Andre Iguodala playing, and we didn't have Redick or Bledsoe playing for us. But
A win's a win, boys. A win's a win.
preseason, I know it's preseason, but it's a good starting point. Zion played 30-something minutes, which is the first time he ever did that in the NBA because he always had restrictions. He has
No more restrictions. No more restrictions.
Full go, and he proved it last night. He had 26 points. BI had 22. He had a monster dunk. I mean, I'm really encouraged by what I saw last night. And, I mean, defense has been a big focal point for the Pelicans. They held the Heat to under 100 points. Which, again, they didn't have Jimmy Butler or Goran Dragic. But still, I mean, holding an NBA team under 100 points is really good, especially in the age
Yes,
of
but yeah, these days it's really good.
So I'm very encouraged from what I saw last night from the Pelicans. They play Friday against the Bucks. Drew Holiday's return to New Orleans. Whatever, it's preseason, but I mean, still his return to New Orleans. But yeah, if Zion's playing like that and he has no restrictions and Bi is doing his thing, I think the team's going to be all right. And Another thing they focused on was rebounding, and they out-rebounded the Heat. Steven Adams obviously a big part of that, and Zion I think had 10 rebounds too, so he had a double-double. So it was an all-around good first start. I think it wasn't perfect, but I like the way we started off, so that's good.
Agreed.
Yeah. So let's get into some NBA predictions here. So last year we did this, and I think we kind of were off, but it's okay.
Yeah, we were. I don't think I was correct on.
I don't think I was either.
On anything.
I had Steph Curry as MVP, but he got hurt, so I was like, "Well, screw
Yeah,
that."
I also had Steph Curry as MVP.
Yeah. So, but let's start off with our finals prediction. This year just seems like it's clearer than last year's one. Who you got in the finals this year?
The Western Conference, I have defending champs of the Lakers. I think they'll go all the way. I think that this team is better than the team that was last year, and the fact that this is going to be more of a normal playoffs, I think it's going to be a bit harder, but I still think that the Lakers are going to manage to get through. Based on the offseason moves, I haven't seen anything that the Clippers are doing, and I mean that's even if the Clippers doesn't blow a 3-1 lead to like the Nuggets again, So
yeah.
From the Eastern Conference, this took me a while, but this kind of goes with my litter pick that I have. And I think the Nets are going to represent the East in the finals this year. I'm looking at some preseason games, and again, this is preseason games, but you're seeing KD playing in form. You're looking at Kyrie. That tandem is looking pretty good, plus the pieces that they have around them. I mean, that Nets team without a KD, without a Kyrie, was still competing. So I think that they got the pieces to do it. I think that, of course, Giannis is still in Milwaukee, and I think that this year is going to be really important to see what Giannis does. I think if the Bucks go to the finals and if the Bucks somehow win, I think Giannis will be more inclined to stay with Milwaukee. But I think if they don't even make the finals, I think that's hard to say. But Lakers versus Nets, and
well, real quick. So I've got to talk about that. Paul George did sign a 5-year extension with the Clippers. We didn't talk about that, but he did do that. Giannis, on the Giannis point, he has till Monday to sign the Supermax if he wants the Supermax. Now, if he doesn't sign the Supermax Monday, he can still wait till the offseason and still sign a max contract, but it won't be the Supermax. He'll lose money. So by Monday, we might have an idea of what Giannis is going to do if he signs it. If he doesn't sign it, it could be he's just going to wait till the offseason, see what this season's like, and wait till the offseason, or he's will be a free agent. So that by Monday we'll know if what might happen with Giannis. So that's interesting there. And my finals prediction is also Lakers Nets. I think for the Lakers is kind of a no-brainer, but for the Nets, it's like the James Harden stuff. It's like I don't see the Nets trading for James Harden. I think because if they do that, they lose all their depth.
Well, yeah, and even on top of that, the Rockets have said they're not trading James Harden to the Nets unless they get Kyrie or KD in return, and that's just not going to happen.
So So I think because of that, the Nets are going to keep their depth, and obviously with Kyrie and KD, who seem to get along, and I think they're going to be a good pairing. I think the Nets will just overtake everyone else in the East. I don't see Milwaukee actually being that big of a threat to them. I mean, even though they have Drew Holiday and all that, and I love Drew, but I mean, Kyrie, KD, Drew, Giannis. You know what I mean? Like it's not
Yeah.
comparable. And then in Toronto, I mean, they're playing in Tampa Bay, the Tampa Bay Raptors. I mean, I don't know. They don't have enough. I mean, no one else has enough to beat the Nets. I don't think. I don't see it happening. Philadelphia, I don't think they have.
Yeah, the only thing I could see is if Harden gets traded to the 76ers, and even then that's even tough to say.
Yeah.
I mean, we talked about it last week. If you missed it, go watch it. But Harden really doesn't fit anywhere but the Rockets. So
Yeah. So yeah. So Lakers Nets. Now who wins? That I don't know because we have to wait and see. I think because of injuries and we don't know, and that might not even be the finals matchup. We don't even know. Things could happen, but right now I
yeah.
think that's the bet is Lakers Nets. I think everyone's kind of on agreement on that. So who's your MVP? NBA MVP.
Well, NBA MVP, it kind of goes with the finals predictions, and I think that KD ends up winning MVP.
Okay.
It's kind of a shot in the dark pick, and it's kind of a pick that not too many people are talking about. But I think that KD is going to lead the Nets team, and to go from kind of missing the playoffs to making that finals. I think that it'll be enough, and I mean I think he'll put up the numbers that he will, and whenever he was putting up those numbers um in Golden State, you also had Steph Curry, you also had Klay Thompson, you had other people, but here it's just Kyrie. So I think that his numbers will kind of shine more, and I think that he'll win MVP this year.
That's not a bad pick. I actually like that. I didn't think about that. That's a good pick. I got Luka. I got Luka as my
Oh,
MVP.
of course, I'm not surprised. Why am I not surprised? I'm not surprised. Of course, you got Luca.
I think the key is if Porzingis is healthy, the Mavericks will be a top 4 team in the West. And I think Luka. I think if anyone's going to challenge the Lakers, I think the Mavericks might be able to do it because he almost beat the Clippers last year too. So I mean,
Yeah,
yeah, one of the best buzzer beaters. I mean that
and
year.
that was without Kristaps, right?
Yeah, that most of that series was without Kristaps. So I mean, Luka is just. I mean, God, he's just. I mean, I can get around all day. um, So yeah, so I think Dallas is gonna be a really good team this year, and I'm excited to watch Luka, obviously. So rookie of the year. This one was tricky. Who you got for rookie of the year?
This is the thing with Rookie of the Year. Whenever you look at Rookie of the Year, it's kind of become like um not like a popularity contest, but like last season, for example, you have John Morant, who obviously deserved it.
Yeah.
In my opinion, I was the one who was saying John Morant deserves Rookie of the Year. I don't care how many. I don't care if Zion comes back and lights it up. I think Ja
Yeah.
deserves Rookie of the Year. You were one of the people that were saying, okay, well, let's look at Zion. He's been blowing it up.
Well, I said that if the Pelicans were to make the playoffs over the Grizzlies, then I would have considered giving it to Zion. But I was with you that Ja deserved to win it. Like,
But there was definitely some people who were saying, okay, well, look at Zion. He deserves Rookie of the Year. And I was like, no, it's Rookie of the Year. And
yeah,
of course, I think LaMelo has a really good shot at winning it. And he is the person who I wrote down. But I do want to make a point, and not too many people are aware of this. But there is somebody who played last season who was eligible for Rookie of the Year, much like Ben Simmons was whenever he won it. And that is one Bobo. He's
oh,
eligible for Rookie of the Year. And Bobo, let me tell you something about Bobo. If you don't know about Bobo, go figure out. So I think LaMelo Ball, but Bobo is a quiet candidate that I think could win Rookie of the Year.
I got Bobo as my rookie of the year. That's why
Oh, look at that.
that's what I mean. Okay, I was thinking about this last night. Okay, so like the whole Ben Simmons thing was like whenever he was up for rookie of the year, it was like a second year player getting rookie of the year. Who was the guy that they were trying to give it to besides Ben Simmons? I forgot the other guy. Forgot his name. I mean, I could look it up, but I'm lazy. Um,
Not
but
lazy.
no, like because I remember it was between Ben Simmons and someone else. Like it was a big debate about who should win it, and it was I want to say it was Donovan Mitchell, but I could be wrong. I could be
I
wrong.
think it was Rookie of the Year, but let's see.
It was between. I want to say Donovan Mitchell was the other guy that it was between Ben Simmons and Donovan Mitchell, but I could be wrong. I don't know. I don't remember.
Yeah, he beat out Donovan Mitchell and Jason Tatum.
Okay, yeah. So that was a big debate. Bobo played in the bubble. He didn't play the actual regular season. He played in the bubble, so he was still eligible for rookie of the year. Yeah, Bobo, if he's healthy, I think he'll win rookie of the year. I do. So
Yeah, but I think there'll be a strong push for LaMelo Ball to get it. I mean, just look
yeah.
after the first season preseason game, no points, just some assists, and everyone wanted to talk about LaMelo. So I mean, the media,
I
the
didn't think
sports media will
that
definitely.
because I feel like kind of like with Zion and Ja, like Zion is the more popular player, obviously, but just because you're popular doesn't mean you're the best. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
So that's why I feel like Bobo might be the best.
and I think so too. But I will just say, just expect the sports media to be pushing LaMelo Ball for Rookie of the Year the whole season.
Oh, no doubt. Who you got for most improved player?
Now this is the hardest
Yeah,
award to predict because you never know whenever some player that was averaging 2 points a game is all going to come out of nowhere and start averaging 20 points a game. It happens. But this is my most improved player, and it's kind of a weird one, but it's actually I don't know, improved. I picked Russ. I think that Russ going from the Rockets to the Wizards, I think that he's going to lead the Wizards deep into the Eastern playoffs. I'm talking semifinals, maybe even finals. I think that the Wizards can go there. You talking about a team who had Bradley Beal and they were winning some games. They were in contention for that bubble play, and then now you're adding Russ.
yeah,
I think it's a recipe for greatness, and I think that Russ going from the Rockets, where he was kind of playing second fiddle, obviously to James Harden, to now he's kind of that guy on that team. I think like I said, this is such a hard thing to pick. So
about the Wizards too, that I think people need to realize is that the Wizards got Russ for nothing because John Wall hasn't been playing the last 2 years. So it's not like they lost John Wall. Like last year, they didn't have John Wall. You know what I mean? And they were where they
yeah,
were. So they added Russ. They didn't really lose John Wall, if that makes sense. Like they didn't. I feel like they didn't lose much. So the Wizards are definitely be a better team. And Russ is actually, I think, still could be considered maybe an MVP candidate because if he puts up those triple doubles like he's been doing, I think he's a threat to win MVP as well, especially
yeah, he
with
is too.
Price, they could be a threat to the Nets. If any team's going to beat the Nets, it might be the Wizards. I don't know. It might be far fetched, but I mean, it's possible.
You never know. You never know. I
So
mean, hey, I don't know how many people were predicting the Miami Heat to go all the way last year, but hey,
yeah. So my most improved player, I have Michael Porter Jr. from Denver. I have him as
mm,
a improved player. Because I think Denver's really banking on him to make a big jump. Because if you remember with the trade talks with Drew Holiday, Denver was the name that was coming up, and how I think the Pelicans, if they were doing that deal, would be for Michael Porter Jr. And Denver was unwilling to, trade him, or Bobo too. So that tells you that Denver, I think, thinks highly of both of those guys, and that they're going to get significant playing time. I think, especially Michael Porter Jr. At least we know he's going to be a part of the starting rotation probably. So I think he's going to make a big jump this year, and I think the Denver Nuggets needs him to make a big jump if they're going to be any threat to the Lakers or the Clippers or anybody. So I got him as my most improved player.
yeah. I will say some. If the Nuggets go off and Jamal Murray plays like he was playing in the bubble, I think MVP should go to Jamal Murray's girlfriend. I'm just saying.
Oh man.
I'm just saying. Forget KD. I think, and forget Luka. It should go to Jamal Murray's girlfriend. The Nuggets. If the Nuggets play like they did in the bubble, give it to her. Give it to her. Just give it to her.
That's funny. Okay, so two more things before we get out of here today. So it was reported, I forgot, maybe it was Sunday night or something. The Cleveland Indians MLB team is going to change their name. They're keeping their name for this upcoming season, 2021 season, but after that, they're changing it.
Yeah. Well, it's kind of hard to just change.
Yeah,
You
you can't
know.
change right away. Yeah, it's gonna be interesting to see what they're gonna call them. I was trying to think of names that they would replace it with, but I can't really
I
think of.
got it. I got it. The Cleveland baseball team.
I would not be surprised
Come
actually.
on, let's do it. Let's do
I
it.
was
Come on.
thinking, I was thinking some NBA names for a bit. I was thinking like Cleveland Lakers or the Cleveland Warriors, because Warriors would kind of go with the Indian theme, kind of without being like, you know what I'm saying? Like without being offensive, I guess. Warriors, but I was thinking like Cleveland's by the Great Lakes. I'm like they could be the Cleveland Lakers. I mean,
I don't know. I will say though, I think in the grand scheme, I think Indians is like less controversial than Redskins. But I mean, hey, if you wanna change it, go ahead, do it. Um,
I mean, I don't know. I mean, I'm not a big Cleveland baseball fan anyway, so it's not a big. It was just a big story, and I mean, I wanted to get some baseball into this.
yeah, the last thing I remember the Cleveland Indians doing is losing to the Cubs in the World Series.
Yeah, at least they made it
I
to.
don't,
I mean,
yeah, but I mean, yeah.
that was a magical year for the Cubs. I mean, Back to the Future. I mean, predicted it.
They were just off by a year. They were just off by a year. That's crazy to think, though.
Yeah. So the last thing we want to talk about is the LSU against Florida. Oh my God.
Mm. Wow, what a field goal! And just imagine these professional guys can't hit like 30-yarders.
Yeah. And they're hitting like 40, 50 yarders in the fog. That's pretty good.
Yeah.
RIP to that Florida team player that threw the shoe. Because that's what lost him the game.
Yeah.
RIP to that guy. I'm sure that team probably slapped him silly.
Oh yeah, he got in the locker room. He was probably ooh.
Like, okay. I know that. I mean, even in high school, you do that. You get called for, like, in any sport. You know what I mean? Like, that's just, like, why would you do that? Like, what on earth
It's
would you
not as
go,
bad
hey,
as
here's the shoe, let me chuck it across the field?
it's not as bad as that Texas kid who decided to just take out a ref and got his entire team eliminated from the playoffs and forget any scholarship offers that he had because those are all gone now, you
I
know.
think he's facing charges, too. I think he's facing
Yeah.
charges.
So all because he got thrown, all because he had that penalty, he hit a ref, got his football team taken out of the playoffs, lost any scholarships he had, and now he might have criminal charges. Good going, guy.
I feel bad for that football team. I feel like they shouldn't have been. The team shouldn't have been punished for that. I feel like the player should have been like take the player out of the team, but to take the whole team out of the playoffs.
I mean, hey, you know,
much, but
this. Like I said, this is their thinking. Yes, it could have been an isolated incident, but who's to say that that team necessarily doesn't do that again? You know, it could be a issue within the team that would have caused that kid to do that. So you never know. It could happen again. So I think the safest, yeah, it does suck for the whole team, but the safest thing to do is, you know, I guess it's kind of like that team sport mentality. You win as a team, you lose as a team. So
you beat up a ref as a team.
you beat up a ref as a team. You get kicked out of the playoffs as a team. It's that simple.
And if you're Florida, you throw the shoe as a team, you know?
Yeah, and if you're the Jets, you throw winnable games as a team. So
I will say this about LSU, and I know this is a bad year for LSU. Obviously not a good team. Team players got to the draft and players opted out. But this is this win, I think, is like, okay, it's a bad season, but at least we got a good win. You know what I mean? Like
yeah.
we can look back at this season and be like, at least we beat a good team. You know what I mean?
At least we got a good one.
Yeah, you know, so it's that kid. Oh, who's the quarterback? Man, why I forgot his name. The guy that played at the Florida game for LSU. I think he should be the starter going forward over those other guys that were trying to play. I think he's the guy. I think for next.
Yeah, I mean, hey, he won a game, so put him in. You know, so
he won a game against a college football playoff favorite. You know, which
put him in.
You know, even if Florida beats Alabama in the SEC championship game this weekend, they just because of that loss, those two losses. I mean, that's and Alabama has one loss. They're not going to get in. Like
yeah, they're not going to
stay in, and Florida's going to be out. So
I don't know. This season, it's like Clemson. Who's taking down Clemson? You know, that's what it kind of feels now. Yeah, Notre Dame, but I mean, I don't know.
I'm very interested to see if Clemson doesn't make it to the playoff. If they lose to Notre Dame this weekend in the championship game, and Clemson's out, that'd be really interesting. Because I'm telling you right now, Trevor Lawrence is not winning the Heisman. I don't think he's winning it. I don't know who is. I don't know who's the favorite, but I think if they're out of the playoff, he shouldn't win it. I feel like I don't know.
Trevor Lawrence comes back another year. He's like, I gotta win one more.
Win that Heisman.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I don't know. It's college football's weird, man. It's tough. This year was tough to get into. It's just LSU sucked, and it was like,
yeah. And there was no Nichols, so
yeah, Nichols
didn't even have that to get into.
Yeah. So it's weird. Yeah. So anyway, that's gonna do it, I think, for us this week. Next week, I guess. I mean, next week is Christmas, so that's fun. Next Friday is Christmas. Wednesday is still good, I guess, huh?
Yeah, Wednesday's still good.
Christmas show Wednesday. Let's go.
Yeah.
So be on the lookout for that. Wednesday. Another episode will be up. So thank you, sir. Always nice to chat.
Of course. I mean, this is a sports chat after all.
Yeah. Remember to like, subscribe, comment, follow us on Instagram at SportsChatDJMatt1 for all the latest updates. Thank you guys so much for watching. We're earlier this week, but hey, only by one day, so it's not that much early, but it's still early. But enjoy the rest of your week and weekend, and we'll talk to you next Wednesday, guys.